To Europe on being the Rift Rivals champions. Fnatic closing out the series in 3-1 fashion over TSM. We just got to see all the pro players taking their turns lifting it, a few of them sneaking in 2 lifts.
Oh, I saw
double
it,
lift. I don't know. Is that a sign? We'll see. For the future to come. But honestly, a very impressive tournament run for Europe. I think we have to, recognize that it wasn't just, G2 coming in and hard smashing. You actually look to the other squads in the top 3 in Europe for actually carrying a number of these games and closing out the series.
Yeah, I mean, G2 lost more games than the other EU teams.
They did, they did.
Yeah, I mean, it was, 9-4 overall,
right.
I think, as far as the total score. So certainly the stronger region won.
Yep.
And it's nice to see that it wasn't just G2, carrying through. All the teams really did contribute a lot.
I think Fnatic fans got everything they wanted. They got to finish the whole show right here, pick up the win over TSM.
Are you secretly pulling for a loss there in Game 4 so that Origin would have a chance at glory in Game 5?
I mean, I wouldn't say no if that happened.
Exactly, that's what I figured. That's what I figured.
But quick shout out to TL as well for really trying their hardest.
They stepped
Keep
up.
NA in this.
They stepped up for sure for North America and can give us some hopes coming out of this tournament and looking towards Worlds and future international competition. I do want to briefly hit on this 4th and final game here because there was some fun stuff that happened. We had some sweet mid lane 2v2s and some sad stuff as well. But some mid lane 2v2s, let's check them out.
Yeah, I mean, this is a flashless Vygar. Why not just Q flash on Sejuani, immediately stun him out? The execution on the mid lane 2v2s was very poor from TSM. I actually felt this one, and I'm sure we're going to have the next one.
Oh, you want another one? You're getting another one.
This one, I mean, is even worse, really. But I feel like TSM had a good chance in this game, but just failed to execute at all the critical moments when it really mattered most.
Yeah, it's a bit of an issue for them because it actually felt like fairly even after draft and even in the first parts of this game. But whenever TSM tried to force anything, they ended up kind of hurting themselves more.
Yeah.
Nemesis picks up these early kills right here. Fnatic already have Sivir in the bot lane that we know will be super, super strong for Reckless. And the Aatrox pick that has been huge for Europe this tournament. And we were just kind of waiting for Aatrox to pick up a kill or two. And ended up actually getting gifted quite a few.
Tip of the cap to Bwipo there in that 1v2 outplay. Yes, Grig maybe didn't need to die there with his flash up, getting in range of that Q knock-up from the Aatrox, but in a lane where he was down 20 CS and getting ganked, Bwipo really showed some prowess.
Yeah, definitely the case. I mean, he took full advantage of the mistake from Broken Blade, really turned around. Broken Blade trying to TP, gets interrupted, gets killed, and Bwipo, was off to the races from there.
Fnatic closes it out for EU as a region, but to hear from that victorious region as a whole, let's send it back to the arena for an interview.
Thanks, guys. I am here with the LEC Rift Rivals champions, Cold, Broxa, Caps. Congratulations on the win, beating NA again on home turf. Cold, I want to go to you first because with winning this championship, not only do you get the trophy, but you get bragging rights over NA. So anything you want to say to those LCS teams?
I feel like it's unfair to hit harder than when they're already laying on the floor, like crying a little bit. So I think we will just take it as a win. We expected to win, so yeah, not much more than that.
All right, well, Broxa, you just beat TSM along with Cloud9 earlier today. So what do you think about the caliber of play that LCS teams have?
Well, I'm not going to lie. After the first day, it looked pretty easy to win this thing. The NA teams managed to step up a little bit here in the last 2 days, but I think it's pretty clear by now that EU is better than NA.
You get that on this stage. Well, you get that on this stage. But Caps, looking at you, hey, what happened today, man? These guys pulled their weight.
It was crabs today, right?
It was crabs today? Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, honestly. It's like a bit embarrassing. We didn't really get the wins against Liquid both times we played them, so we're going to have to get our revenge at the Worlds.
All right, well, I wanted to ask you, because going into Rift Rivals, I kept trying to get a little bit of trash talk out of all of the NA mid laners, and none of them wanted to trash talk you. So what did you think about playing against some of them today?
Well, I mean, it went pretty good for them. I think it's like they kind of like figured me out, maybe. I think if they maybe pulled some trash talk, maybe Claps would have showed up, but instead I got maybe a bit overconfident with all them talking really nice about me, so instead my friend came up instead, so.
Wonderful. Well, EU fans definitely had a field day watching Rift Rivals this year. NA, not so much. So Cold, looking to you, what was your favorite part of Rift Rivals as a whole?
I mean, I always enjoy traveling, and traveling was part of this trip. So I enjoyed LA. I think there's plenty of options for like great food choices, and sometimes the weather also shines, and you get to play a little bit of League of Legends too. So I mean, overall, it was a nice trip, and hopefully next time competition is a little bit better. I will say though, like props to Team Liquid. I think they're actually a team that plays really well. We didn't get to play our best game against them when we played them, so we also need to give a little bit of props to them. Yeah.
We can bring back Liquid to Europe.
Yeah.
Do not take them from us. Do not take them from us. I do think it's funny how every single time EU comes over here, they're like, oh yeah, well the food is super great. So Broxa Caps, did you guys, were there any EU dinner dates going on here?
Well, we didn't really have any dinner dates, but I'm sure that most of the teams have been out trying some of the nice LA Korean barbecue, and yeah, just in general, you know, the food here is really nice.
Well, you guys do have a week break, nice little vacation before you start back up at LEC. And I know that there is a little bit of a battle for first between G2 and Fnatic. So Cold, coming to you as a neutral party, do you think that this battle's going to keep up over the split, or are we going to get a new challenger approaching?
I mean, hopefully, yeah. I mean, we're a little bit behind right now. We sadly lost some games, but we all know that regular season doesn't really matter, right? So, like, it's all that's going to happen in the playoffs, where we will obviously be, and they will probably be too. We will see. But yeah, we're just excited to get back to Europe and play some more, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, wishing you the best of luck in that. And guys, once again, congratulations one more time for our LEC Rift Rivals champions. Guys, congratulations again. And to wrap up the day, let's hear from that State Farm analyst desk.
Europe, once again, your Rift Rivals champions. How about that LA food, though?
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
How about that LA food, though?
Great food here. I thought he was going to mention the beach, but he didn't. Let's add that one to it as well.
Keep that in mind during the off-season, guys. Just say it. No. Again, it's really great to hear from the LEC guys. I like the respect given, especially by Cold over to Team Liquid.
Exactly.
But
Important.
while at the same time recognizing their dominance. In short form, recognizing that Europe is by far and away at this point considered the better region between the two.
It's kind of hard to hide it, at least, after the tournament. Like, oh, no, every game was super close for 2 minutes. Exactly. And then go.
But with that, I think it will be interesting to see what this catalyzes. Because I think you can recall a Rift Rivals where, Europe took a beating from North America. And I remember hearing from a number of Europeans that was a bit of a shock to the system, right? Just the idea that losing in a way or to a degree that you didn't expect definitely pushed them, to think about the game and think about their inefficiencies or in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, TSM, we know that they're a team with international aspirations. Yes, Cloud9 was sick, but even just talk a little bit about TSM. If your goal is to win Worlds, if your goal is to do well at Worlds, well, very clearly, you're not
exposed.
There. You are not there, right? They went 1-4, I believe. All 4 of their losses, they were pretty much dominated, start to finish. So it does feel like, that alone is a big wake-up call. They have to step up. They have to change some things around if they really want to be able to compete on that international level. And I think that is the beauty of a tournament like this, is that you get to actually face off against MSI champion, against some of the best teams in the world, and really see, are you there yet? Some of our teams, certainly not.
And I think the change for North America, it starts with TL. They already actually showed the Yasuo, which is not something we've seen a whole lot from Jensen, but it worked super well. And that's obviously something we see a lot in Europe. If they keep trying to pick up some of the same flex picks, and if they try and push it a little bit more in the early game and play more aggressive, more of the NA teams will then get to practice against that and actually try and copy it and do the same. It is hard to do it if you go back and then you start scrimming against other teams who will then just play the traditional style that we saw before Rift Rivals started. So you kind of need at least 1, maybe 2 teams to try and copy some of these if you want to pick up this playstyle, that is.
It can also be hard to stomach the idea of taking a step back to take 2 steps forward, right? I would imagine Team Liquid trying to adopt a little bit of the European playstyle might take a few losses in the first few weeks of regular season play, and you have to be able to be okay with that.
It was definitely a lot easier after that Rift Rivals that NA one where all the EU teams just had to be like, wait, we can gank mid lane? You know, it's a little bit easier to learn that again.
Then like, oh, we can play any of these 110 champions we didn't think we could previously play.
Just copy what Perks does. Just learn to play Zoe. You know, one of the best Zoes in the world. Just play that bot line. Also, at the same time, very easy. Just learn to play Yasuo top lane at you know, elite world level.
Shyvana, why not?
You know, this is very easy stuff to pick up. But I'm sure by next week, everyone have it down.
There you go.
If anything, I hope that this gives NA teams the permission to try things.
100%.
That's what it should.
That is the meta.
In the relay race, though, today there were some standout performers, aplenty, but the players of the game for this series were Fnatic's Broxa in Game 1, Origin's Nuke Duck for Game 2, Team Liquid's Xmithie for Game 3, and Fnatic's Whippo for that fourth and final game.
And I think we had the biggest debate around Game 3 with TL, just because there were so many players who looked so good.
A number of people stepped up.
But obviously, Xmithie had a fantastic Gragas game, so a lot of the jungle pressure worked for him. Same thing for Broxa in this Game 1, where no matter where he went, he would just pick up a bunch of kills on the Elise, and he's once again a huge part of Fnatic winning the early game.
Yeah, he really was. And I think, you know, Broxa was a monster throughout really this whole tournament. Broxa has been a monster all year. Certainly very, very strong. And, you know, he wasn't even playing in their one loss, I do believe.
Yeah,
so
that was Dan.
Certainly a strong tournament from him. And Fnatic picking up 2 of the 3 wins, going to be feeling really good about that. You know, Whippo, another really strong showing on the Aatrox.
Yeah, again, that individual performance from Whippo in the fourth and final game really impressed me in the top lane, absorbing a lot of pressure, but still following up as a carry. Again, for Team Liquid, as you mentioned, the most contentious of the games probably, but we're going to hone in here
on Nuke
that
Duck.
Second game of the series where Nuke Duck picked it up.
And this wasn't a game where there was like a lot of individual outplays, but like he had a super controlled laning phase. He was up 20 to 30 CS against Little Blanc. He's not supposed to be up that much by any means. Actually, he should actually be slightly pressured. In the early game, he was not. He had full control of the lane and were able to actually impact Silence when he had to. And yes, 2-0-4. It doesn't look that insane, but Origin didn't have that many kills. It was, as we highlighted, controlled, not slow. It was controlled. And he was a big part of that.
He very much was. Let's roll it forward into that third game where Team Liquid does snag the only victory for North America in the best of 5.
Yeah, and I mean, Martin talked about it a little bit. You know, there was certainly a debate between who it should actually go to. Jensen had an incredible Yasuo game. You know, Core JJ was fantastic on the Lux. But to me, the real difference maker was Xmithie. He was the one that I think actually kind of got them going. It was often him that was actually initiating these fights and Jensen just following up with the ultimate.
Yeah.
You know, I think Xmithie really got the ball rolling and certainly was a huge catalyst for Team Liquid in this game.
And I've honestly lost count of the number of times we reference Xmithie as being, you know, the linchpin for success for Team Liquid at international competition. When he's hot, they find wins. When he's not, that's usually where the losses are coming from. So great to see him step up here. Again, it's about finding that level of consistency across the international stage. And finally, Fnatic's Whippo picking up player of the game in that fourth game of the day with the 5-2-2 scoreline. Again, getting focused in the top lane, but then being able to turn it around.
And he loves Aatrox, man. It's such a classic pick for him because he can be in 1v2 situations. You feel like this is bad, he's gonna die here. Pops the ulti, did even more even before the changes to him, and just 1v2s his way out of it. And I think once he is ahead, he's one of the most aggressive players in the top lane we have, and he will always, always force, especially in team fights, and he keeps doing it.
My one regret was not checking out the face cam after that 1v2. I'm sure it was a good one. But with Rift Rivals concluded, the LEC takes a break from the summer split and returns on Friday, July 12th, while the LCS jumps right into Week 5, a week from today. So there you have it, the schedule for the LCS as we return. But now for myself, the casters, the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time as we continue the summer split. Good night. Welcome to the final day of the tournament where we have a best-of-5 relay race for the title of champion.
It's all come down to this. The finals of Rift Rivals kick off. Fnatic versus C9.
Yeah, I'm just gonna base
Counter TP comes in. Licorice gonna join this fight. Whippo executing to the time. And you're looking at an 8,000 gold difference as well as Whippo jumps in the mid lane. Nemesis tanking up the tower. The turret's still alive. Niski gets on him! And Niski will take the kill. Whippo falls as well. A botched tower dive and C9 come out alive. C9 going to keep it on the offensive, stepping forward into the faces of Fnatic. But Reckless has a flank position and Nemesis takes one. Boxer pushing forward here as well and lands a cocoon onto Niski. Fnatic take Nexus and strike first here for Europe. TSM secure it, Mithy going in. He flashes away, Smoothie looking for the stun. Mithy gets the kill on his former teammate.
I'm not sure. I've got a cocoon. Look, Sona. No flash Sona. Yeah, slowly play. Yeah. That's good. It's really good. Splash.
Bjergsen jumping forward, has the Banshees, but Cocoon's going to land on a quick. Pops the Ragnarok, flash forward from Patrick, looking for the autos. Click, click, boom. Bjergsen has to do something miraculous here to stop it, but TSM can't defend, and Origin make it 2-0 for Europe.
There's that rookie in the shack.
I can just all in him mid. Oh, he might look here. Laka missing. I will move. Laka. Nice. Can I hit her?
Jensen goes on a killing spree. There's the ulti being forced out of Hertz here immediately. Impact in some trouble. Rooted up, but man!
They will not go down without a fight, and this relay race will continue.
Trading the top lane, Broken Blade. Offside, Broken Blade is broken in half. Whippo trying to dodge and dive away from this. The counterattack. But Whippo makes it a 1-for-1.
I'm running some time. Hilly? I don't know if you guys can fight without me. Next. We win for sure, by the way. Come in top.
And Fnatic will secure the Rift Rivals win for Europe.
When G2 could not stand their ground, it was Fnatic that said definitively, EU is greater than NA.